Hey guys, it's us again, Natalie,
Eve,
Kyra,
and we're the Ivy Pie.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Woo! Anywho, this video is going to be about French, the IB French, both SL and HL. Me and Kyra are both we have taken SL, and Eve is taking HL.
And this would be the language B class. This is like French is under that section.
Yep. Yes.
The language B class, French.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And basically what French is just, it's a course that'll help deepen your knowledge and understanding of not only the French language, but the French culture, and even the culture of countries that are not just France, other countries such as Senegal and Haiti and other ones. And then it's less focused on grammar and more focused on expression and communication. Mm-hmm. And you'll be expected to write many different text types, from an informal email to an article. You know, it varies.
Right.
Yeah.
There are 5 themes, first of which is identities, and that concerns like culture, your beliefs, your values, that kind of thing. Am I missing anything?
I think like kind of just life.
Just like who you are as a person.
Your identity.
I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory. And then experiences, that's like what do you do like in your leisure time, sports, common experiences of your culture.
Life journeys, too.
Yeah. Life journeys, yeah.
Traveling.
Yeah. And then the third one is human ingenuity, which concerns technology and art. And I would say art has a larger impact in this class because, art is very ingrained in French culture. Like, you can see that in the Impressionist movement, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And then the fourth theme is social organization, which concerns, relationships, communities, going to school, going to work, that kind of thing. And finally, the fifth theme is sharing the planet, which concerns, helping the planet through recycling, and, clean energy sources. Yeah. Clean energy sources.
Basically.
Like globalization, ethics, urban and rural environment, development stuff too.
Yep.
Human rights.
Mm-hmm. And then in terms of the prerequisites for French, so obviously you have to have prior French knowledge because this is a relatively advanced French course. It's like equivalent to AP French 4, and so you have to have taken French 3 and all the French classes before that, which include 2 and 1. Mm-hmm. Some you might have, one you might have taken in middle school, which I think we all did, right? Yeah. And then if you haven't taken any foreign language prerequisites, you would likely take an ab initio language course that doesn't require any past experience. It is basically for beginners. So if it's like your first time ever taking French, then there's definitely a course offered that helps with that. For us, I don't know if you had never taken a French language course, did our IB program allow you to take French 1 in 11th grade?
Well, okay, but what would be the point of that? Because then you still wouldn't be able to do French language B.
Yeah. So then why would anybody want to do that in the first place?
No one is doing that.
Oh. Okay, anyways.
So, the exam, you'll have 2 papers and then an oral assessment. For paper 1, that is the written response. So, as we were talking about, you'll be expected to... There'll be a prompt. Wait, there'll be 2 prompts. There will be a selection of prompts, and you will have to choose one. And then you'll have to choose which text type would go along with that prompt. And what graders really want to see is, being able to use proper grammar structures, properly expressing yourself, and using, the structures that are expected of the text type that you choose. So, for an email, you would obviously use, an email format, and that would change if you're writing a letter. And then for the second paper, that would be the receptive response, which is listening and reading. And in my opinion, it wasn't that bad. I was worried about listening, but it was actually the easiest part of the exam, in my opinion.
Isn't there a paper 3 for HL? Is there a paper?
Well, we'll leave that to our HL student.
Not that I know of.
Let's look that up really quick.
I have not actually taken the HL course yet, because we're rising seniors, but...
Yeah.
my trusty researcher friend Natalie is looking that up for us. And there's also like we can like double speed things. Like if there's ever any like really weird pauses, I'm just So the conclusion is that there's no paper 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, moving on to the final component, which is the internal oral assessment, and that's different for SL and HL.
Yes. So the internal, for the internal oral assessment is only SL, right? For the HL, you have a paper to write, don't you?
Hello?
No.
No?
Sorry, technical difficulties.
Yeah, so basically, for the internal assessment for the SL kids, that will be a speaking assessment on you'll base it off of one of the 5 themes, and what you'll get is we got 3 pictures of each of the pictures will relate to one of the themes
and French culture or Francophone culture.
Francophone culture, yes, and you'll learn about these themes in class. It'll be great, and then. But you might get 2 or 3, varies. And what you do is you pick one, and then you study it for you get, I don't know, like 20 minutes to kind of come up with a plan, what you want to say, and you'll get 3 to 4 minutes to speak, presentive speaking about, like, what you see in the photo, how it relates to your theme. You want to make sure you get in your structures, like passé composé, imparfait, oui, and le futur simple, or even more, like all the tenses you can possibly get. You want to show them your knowledge, and
the relationship. You need to relate it back to your own
culture
and French culture, and that's really important too. Just showing your knowledge about culture.
And one thing that might help with this oral assessment is knowing some news, or like looking up news articles for the French countries, the countries that speak French, being aware of what's going on so you can talk about that. And that's just the first part of it, right? Then comes the conversation. You'll have a series of questions that your teacher will ask you, and it will be about a different theme than you've already chosen in your picture. And you have to expand on those questions, and your teacher will be there kind of for you. I mean, obviously she can't help like super much, but she'll be there for you.
He or she,
whatever.
Yeah.
Your teacher will want to help you, so don't be worried about it. It's not like a battle or anything.
Yeah.
It's a conversation.
It's a conversation, and then you'll have a general conversation about just things and like of the themes, and it'll.
I only have 4 minutes of recording time left.
Okay, so just a brief run through for HL. It's very similar, except instead of talking about like pictures, you're going to be talking about like a literary text that you've studied during the course, and I think you get to choose between a couple. Not entirely sure because I haven't taken the actual exam yet, but it should be pretty fun, I would say. It's more conversational, just like SL does. The only different thing is that you're talking about a text, which might be a little bit more harder because you might have to go into more depth about like the characters and the plot and all that kind of stuff. But overall, if you're taking HL French, you're probably pretty passionate about the language. Probably. And it should be a pretty fun time, I would say. And you have to talk about at least one of the 5 prescribed themes, just like SL does. So,
yeah.
Yep.
As an SL student, that sounds really scary. Okay, should you take the AP exam?
Okay. I think we all have different opinions about this. So Natalie, you want to start?
Yeah, I'll start. Pretty much the AP exam, it was definitely more difficult than the IB-SL exam, and depending on, I guess, how good you are, it might come to use, it might not. It's really a very wishy-washy thing. Personally, I might have wished I didn't take it. I did pass, right? But
we all passed.
Yeah, we all passed. So. But it wasn't. I don't know. It wasn't all that I expected it to be. Especially because if you take into account people who already are fluent in French or whatever, they take it and they're what affect the curve. They're at the top of the curve, and they affect it. So.
Yeah. I would say, it definitely is harder than what we, like, did in class in terms of, like, content and, like, reading.
And listening.
And listening, yeah. But I think that, like, if you, like, really love French and you do pretty well in the class, like, it's worth taking,
if you have the money.
If you have the money.
It's probably not.
Yeah, it's another thing to take.
It's not one of the most important APs.
Yeah.
Or, like, important at all.
Yeah.